Hey, welcome to the Voice of Reason. Zoe Williams, we back in the building. We haven't been here in quite some time. I think the last show we did was about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I've been traveling out of town, but I'm back, and you already know the protocol. We got a whole crew of motherfuckers in this bitch tonight. And we gonna fucking turn up, because I need to understand the men's perspective as well as the women's perspective on the Voice of Reason. So, with that being said, before I even get into the topic, you know I gotta promote black-owned businesses. Total Package Energy is one. Your brother be killing these motherfuckers. I done had 2 today. You in the dig? 0 carbs, 0 sugars, 0 crash, 0 jitters, the whole 9 yards. Go to totalpackageenergy.com. Tell them Zoe Williams sent you. I'm personally encouraging us to move 500 cases by the end of the night.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it. 500 cases. 500 pieces for everything. And as you can see, I'm rocking the latest Mansions gear. Go to Power in One Clothing to rep my Wednesday show, Mansions. Go there right now, PIOclothing.com. Purchase your gear right now. We're going to produce some more shit out of there. That alliance between myself and Power in One Clothing. They got the black hoodie, red hoodie, white hoodie. They got all of that. So please continue to support these guys. Please continue to show your love for this black-owned business. I've been supporting them for almost 8 years now. So they got a lot of fly, high-end, cool hoodie shit. I saw you look, Teddy.
What?
When I said high-end, I saw that.
I put my fist up.
Teddy
but I
looked
put-
over like, this nigga bullshit, boy.
I put my fist up.
Power in One Clothing. Go support them right now, please. And also, you see the graphic behind you. That's of my latest book, The Holographic Relationship. Please, please, please go to my website, IamZoeWilliams.com, and support The Holographic Relationship. That book dropped Valentine's Day this year. Hey, Marcus King presents something else. Yeah, that book dropped on Valentine's Day, which is like Halloween. Please, please, please support this book. Go to IamZoeWilliams.com. Order your copy today. If you order today, I go to the post office tomorrow and ship it out. Also, get that book's predecessor, The Relationship Dismount, How to Stick the Landing When Exiting a Toxic Relationship. All right? I appreciate everybody for supporting all of these businesses, but you gotta put some skin in the game. I'm not promoting them for no reason. Also, go to the Hurricane Report. You in the dig? The Hurricane Report is an amazing journalistic endeavor that, when I tell you, I've been getting a gang of topics from them because they're like the street ADOS. Anybody knows what ADOS means? American Descendants of Slaves. This whole movement that's happening, this political movement that's happening, they are like the CNN for ADOS, all right? Go to the Hurricane Report. You saw it up there on the screen. These are the things I'm promoting right now. But now it's time for me to get into today's topic. Anybody who knows about the Voice of Reason also knows that this is the premier relationship talk show. We got some millennials in the building. What would your generation be called? Are you a boomer?
No, I'm right after them. I'm a Generation Xer.
You Generation X?
Yes, just like you.
No,
You're X.
I don't think you X.
I'm X.
You might be a boomer.
I'm X. My mama was a boomer.
I think you're a boomer.
I wasn't born in the boom time. I was born after.
You might be a late boomer.
I might have been a late bloomer, but not a late boomer.
You know what the fuck I'm talking about. You know you can't claim Generation X, my nigga.
I am Generation X. If
What
you was
year
born
Generation X started?
66, the year I was born.
Nigga, you's a boomer.
66.
66.
Nigga, Generation X didn't
Martin
start
Luther King was still
1966.
alive.
You mean before Malcolm died? Before-
No,
Martin died.
Malcolm was dead when I was born.
Okay. I know.
She
King
older.
was a king
King,
died.
Martin Luther King was alive. You
King
just
he
died
in
right
68.
after
She older than Roly
Generation
Poly.
X.
I need you to stop.
We're Generation
No,
X.
no, I'm Generation X.
I'm Generation
You're
X.
a boomer.
You're 3 years, 4 years behind me.
5 years?
4.
6, maybe?
4.
Okay, you wanna count?
You're
You're
X.
66.
X.
Hold on. You're 66, right?
Yes.
I'm 71. How many years is that?
4.
That ain't 4, nigga. She
Oh.
can't even count.
I'm sorry. I gotta be still.
You moving around?
The
That
mic.
little titty meat
My
is
titties shaking.
that
It's working like it's on
Okay,
boom mic.
we'll have to see about that.
mic up. You are a boomer.
I'm not a boomer.
You was born
My
in
mama was
66.
a boomer.
Niggas was
I was
marching
born
when
in
you were born.
November
Okay.
of '66. Yeah, I was born during the revolution. That's
Don't
why
worry
I'm
about
a
it.
fighter.
You're a boomer. It's fine. All right, and then we got some young cats in
Oh my
here.
god, am I the young cat too?
You are. You're
Thundercat.
Like, what are you?
Nah,
No, I'm just playing.
No, I'm 39, so I was
Yeah,
born
you're
1980.
Generation X.
I'm X. Okay.
no, she Y. XY.
This
Z.
nigga don't know me.
Y.
She's Generation X. And how old are you, young brother?
I'm 29. I'm Generation Murder Inc.
Ja Rule name.
Generation Ja Rule.
Generation Ja Rule.
Whenever we got my
He's a
baby.
millennial.
I was born 1990. My daddy skeeted in my mama in 89 around the time my prerogative came out.
Then Bobby Brown.
I'm like half of 80s baby, half of not, you know? I'm like the best of both worlds. Let me believe
Hey.
that.
Okay.
Hey, bro, tell them your name and who you are, what you do, and how they can follow you.
My name is Teddy Ray. I'm a comedian, stand-up comedian. Emphasis on the stand-up. Because that's my passion. You see the side of my hat. That's dope right there.
Yeah, you got Richard
And
Pryor.
Richard Pryor.
Yeah, y'all can follow me anywhere online, Teddy Ray Comedy. Just get at me. I hate to be the Google me nigga, but just look up what I'm doing. You feel me? Tap in.
Nigga, Google me, nigga.
I like it, nigga. You know, niggas,
Google me.
they get one little article and they rush to be like, nigga, Google me. Like, nigga, yeah, one article about you. You
Right.
gotta go through in sections on my, you know, God is good. That's all I'm gonna say.
And then
That's
you
right.
said you're
Huh?
39?
I'm 39 years old. I was born in 1980, the year Mount St. Helen erupted. And my mother's name is Helen, so I think it's a coincidence.
Okay.
Because I'm lava, I'm hot. Anyway.
And then the
Niggas
fucking-
It's the braids.
that's when your daddy erupted?
Yeah. And I was born on the 3rd of September, and I have 14 brothers and sisters. Long story.
Wow.
You was
Yeah.
born on
He's
the
dead,
3rd of
though, so it's
September.
okay.
Damn.
Hey, brothers and
On the
sisters, that's a
3rd of
litter of
September.
niggas.
Yeah, that's what it is. But what actually got him
He's
was
got a family
potatoes and
reunion at
fried
the
shrimp.
It's clear a
Hey,
dozen
you
eggs.
did
There's
this though.
a
You did
family
all
reunion
of
at the
this.
And then my young brother on the end.
But I got an Instagram though.
Oh, tell him
Oh,
your
shit.
I got
Instagram.
an Instagram.
Well, get
my
to it.
Instagram-
Shit, you the one having
My
side
Instagram,
conversations.
I'm sorry, my Instagram is Sundayswith_Sarah. And that's Sarah without the H. And please don't Google me because Sarah Jackson is actually a European Michael Jackson impersonator.
Well, thank you for the extra
Damn.
information. Young brother.
Yeah, I'm talking
I'm
about.
just shaking my head.
Well, you feel me? My name is Louis Belt. You know what I'm talking about? Real stand-up comedian. You know what I'm talking about? Raised by OGs, not IG. You know what I'm talking about? So, you know what I'm saying? I'm 25 years old, though. You know what I'm talking about? Out of the Bay Area, Oakland, California. And, yeah, my Instagram at Lou Do Too Much. Fuck with me.
Okay.
All right, well, there you go.
Let me give y'all my Instagram. I feel left out. Donnie Keith Comedy.
Donnie Keith Boomer.
Whatever. Comedy. That's all y'all need to know is comedy.
All right, so let's jump right to it. The Voice of Reason is live. Again, today's topic is an amazing topic. Because, you know, most of the topics that I get are sent to me by women.
Mm-hmm.
Women want to know a man's perspective about relationships, but they also want to hate on other women. So they will give me topics to put in front of y'all so they can shit on y'all later.
Absolutely.
You read the comments, don't you?
Oh yeah, we know who they are.
It's a few out there.
Okay, so today's topic came from this sister. I don't know where she's from. but the topic is, what's your timeline? How much time do we have to make this relationship work? Now, let me ask a couple of questions here. Is the pursuit of intimate relationships a waste of time if you're currently cultivating or in pursuit of your purpose? You working on your craft. Remember I said, hold on.
Teddy Ray.
I was waiting to see who was going to follow instructions. It's these millennials. These motherfuckers don't listen. I should have came on your show earlier. When you have a purpose, like you guys are young comedians, and you know you got to put in the grind. You look at somebody like Kevin Hart, that motherfucker 19 years in before he even got a sniff, and then he took off. So a lot of times when you grinding, sometimes the relationship gets in the way.
Thanks.
Yes.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, tell me if I'm wrong, Peaches and Sarah.
Yes.
When y'all give us pussy, in y'all mind, we go together most of the time.
I shared myself with you. That's it.
Is that true?
No. I mean, sometimes you can just blow in the ear and it can be on. But I mean, just certain chemistry that you have with certain people. That's it.
All right, true or false? Do not waste your time chasing things that will never be beneficial to your future. True or false?
True.
All right. Agree or disagree? Wasting time is exceptionally subjective. One person's wasting time is another person's idea of a great day or evening out.
That sounds a cheap date, though.
I think the millennial motherfuckers, y'all got bitches who don't care about y'all.
True.
Y'all,
Yes.
y'all shit is, the women that y'all fuck with is, this evening, tonight, shit was cool, I don't remember you tomorrow.
Wow.
False.
Yeah, I'm kind of memorable, my nigga.
They remember me.
Remember
It matters. I say it like it matters how you meet them. It matters how you meet them.
Leave a mark in time.
If you meet a woman at a club, she feel that way about you. But if it's outside of the club, she want to fuck with you again.
Grocery store?
But do you want to
Grocery
fuck
store,
with
that's
her
wifey.
then?
Come on. Oh. Ralph.
So see, Teddy said it the vibe right. Are you gonna remember them the next day?
The vibe,
Millennial.
I try to have sex with women I want to keep having sex with.
Okay.
How about that?
See, there you go.
Unless the sex is trash. And
Pussy preserves.
Exactly.
You can always go back.
I want quantity. I want quality, not quantity.
How
right
about
now.
it?
Okay. See, that's
Yeah,
a
you know,
young
I be in
man
that Ruth
talking.
Chris and things like that. You know what I'm talking about? I want to pass on the Wendy's.
The rule of dominoes, all money ain't good money.
Look, they got
mama.
girls watching. They ain't trying to get in trouble.
Oh, mamas, they already know what it is with me.
Hey, mama, I'm sorry.
So, do you guys believe in marriage? Do you think marriage is an option? And what is wifey material for y'all, the millennials?
Ooh.
What would
Do
constitute wifey material for a 29-year-old, a 25-year-old? Like, what is that for y'all?
I mean, I feel like I need somebody with some type of ambition. You know, I can't really have nobody that's just too content with how life is at the present moment. I get it, you know, shit happens, boo boo, but what you gonna do next week? What we gonna do next month? What we, you know, I'm not really too tripping on the present. I'm more so focused on where we headed. So I like chicks that you know, maybe not have all the answers figured out, but they headed somewhere. You know, and maybe I can be their little compass guide. You feel me? Like, bam, north, south, east, west.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
So you done cut
Dating
out
Narnia.
a whole section of bitches.
Who I
That's a
cut out?
fact.
Because women that are somewhere already, right? You
Oh, no. I didn't
cut
cut
them
them out. They cut me out. Bitch just hopped out of her jag today. I was nice, chivalrous, help, you know, carry something to her trunk.
I don't need your help.
Right, you smell
won't-
good, young man, but no. Like, okay.
They won't let a nigga clock in.
Like, there, little boy.
Women box us out, nigga. Nah, nigga, get you some life insurance. Like, what?
Right. There are a lot of women who got their shit together. Life is popping for them. And if your shit ain't, lined up properly,
Right.
they looking at you as if you're unripe. You still on the vine, my nigga.
Yeah, but I feel like once you let me in, I'm gonna let you know whatever nigga you think right, that nigga boring. I'm gonna light your light up. I'm gonna light your world up. You feel me? All that having your shit together, shit is cool, but who gonna pop wheelies with you in the street, nigga, and ride ATVs and how you kicking it in the hood? Get you your own personalized bangle earrings at the Slauson Swap meet.
Oh,
A nigga
the
like
name
me.
on 'em
Help
and
you
shit.
spend your
That was
money.
the name
No,
on
but you
'em.
know what's crazy?
Wow.
It sounds like a joke, but a lot of these women who are highly successful be bored as fuck, be living a mundane, monotonous kind of life, and this is why they're attracted to the bad boy in a lot of ways, because he represents excitement, danger, adventure, and a lot of times they get your pussy wet. Tell me, doesn't it?
True. It's true. Because a lot of the younger women are thinking, you know what? I'm bored with this going to work ass nigga. He want to know what I'm cooking. I ain't cooking.
Right.
Where you taking me to eat? That's what I hear. Where are we going? What are you gonna buy me? What are we gonna do? It's always got to be something that's gonna cost somebody some money.
Man.
When's the last time one of you two young men had a woman cook you a meal from scratch?
Do breakfast count?
A little
Because
scramble.
somebody for sure just bust down some eggs and pancakes and everything for me like 2 weeks ago. Maybe
Oh,
three.
made pancakes up?
Maybe 3,
Had
yeah.
you rock hard all day, huh? Like, yes.
You know, I fuck with cougars, so I be expecting things like that, you know.
wow.
If a woman don't do that, I'm turned off.
That maple syrup.
Yeah, y'all talking about
I like
Maple syrup.
grown ass women.
grown ass women. I expect that, so you know.
Got a kneading bowl.
So let me ask you another question. The two brothers. Do you pursue the relationship, or typically the woman is pursuing you? And I'm talking about to an end goal, like I want to be with this person. Is it you doing that, or is she trying to push you into a relationship more times than not?
That's a good question. Go ahead, Teddy.
I feel like the better situation, she's pursuing the relationship. Because if I'm pursuing it, nigga, I'm lost. I'm distracted. What am I doing with my life? I don't know.
Talk to
I
me.
must be bored, nigga, if I really just want to wife you right now today. I don't know. That sounds horrible.
No, that's real.
That's real.
What I'm saying, but it ain't really coming out.
No, but
I'm
but
opposite
I
of-
want you to say it the way you feel it.
Yeah.
Right. Well, bitch,
Don't fucking censor yourself. Let that shit ride, my nigga.
Ain't nobody
I feel
right.
like the relationship works better when the woman is really feeling you and you doing you, and then you honor her, with some type of commitment or whatever you choose to do.
Mm-hmm.
But if you the nigga that's all, baby, when we gonna go out? When we gonna do? When we gonna?
Yeah.
Nigga, find you something to do, my nigga.
On mama.
That's game right there.
Oh,
So
mama.
you saying that you feel like if a woman pursues you, you know for sure she like me, and it saves you the fact of the later rejection or having to chase her around?
No, he didn't say shit about rejection. What he said was the relationship tends to be better when she's into you, when she's on you.
Right.
When y'all into each
like
other,
I
though.
said, when a man is
Yeah, but so it's
I'm following what you saying though. I'm following what you saying. Like, only reason I don't like doing that, pursuing, the only reason is because it's like I'm not finna be pursuing somebody that don't want me and then she reject me. So it's like I'm not gonna do that. I like the women to choose up on. If I'm looking for a relationship type level, I'm gonna wanna pursue her. Cause most women, when they try to get at a nigga, they probably 9 times out of 10 want a relationship at some point.
But see, y'all got a fucked up generation.
Yes.
And the reason being, I'm talking about in terms of intimacy and relationships. Reason being, y'all got too many motherfucking fake ass options.
right. Yeah.
Fake ass internet options, IG options, motherfucking transgender options. Y'all got some weird shit popping.
A bitch will curve you because she plan on fucking with Trey Songz one day. Like, bitch, you ain't finna fuck with him. So
That's why
what's
I
up
need
with
you
me
to speak
today?
on it.
Right.
And that's why I feel like when a woman pursues, or not even pursue, just show interest, show that you care. don't ride my dick, you know, or ride my
Yes,
dick. I like
yes,
that, ride
we
my
want
dick.
that. The
But
fuck?
But you want her
No,
to
but
pursue
I
you a
think
little.
Teddy is ahead of the game right now. Because the genders have been flipped around. This man is ahead. This is a genius right here.
Because he let women pursue him.
They got to fucking put skin in the game now. Back in the day, it used to be us who had to put skin in the game.
it wasn't but 32 bitches in town before. Nigga had to ride horse to come visit you and get that ass. Now it's
Bringing the cavalry.
Speak as a person from the old.
I ain't gonna lie though. Let's be real, fellas. Though we got to be real too. It might be best to have the women, want the dude, try to do the relationship with him, because at the end of the day, a lot of niggas be just pursuing the fuck too. So if a dude present
Exactly.
that, hey, I fuck with you more than fucking, that's a good feeling for the female, I
But
think.
you also got to throw in the flip side of that coin. There are way more women nowadays that are pursuing for dick only.
Absolutely.
You have a point.
You
You got
there's
to throw that in.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they got girlfriends at home. Most of them got a girlfriend, and they want your dick. I'm just saying.
I mean,
There's lesbians out there celebrating Meat Mondays right now.
Why?
Giving them some dick.
I'm running
So,
out of here so fast.
Meat Monday.
Meat Monday.
I hit a stud before. She like, oh, it's Meat Monday. Let me holler at you.
Wow.
Meat Monday.
Was it good?
It had to be tight.
Hey,
I bet
some
you
of
that
them
shit was
fires-
A1. What is
some
that?
fires. She put on them dickies and shit after. I was like, damn.
Y'all some
Wow,
real
she like a
LA
dude.
shit.
What she did? I'm looking at you different, bro.
said she
I'm
was
looking at you
bush.
different. I'm looking at you different.
You hear that, fellas? Hit a bush.
No, I'm not. That's not the advice.
Oh.
Like I said, she pursued me. She sucked my dick during the Super Bowl. I thought I was just
Oh,
gonna
Wow. At least it was
She was
an
hungry.
occasion.
Right, I just came to bring beers. and
Wait
shit.
a minute, a bush sucked your dick? A bush?
During the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Halftime. Like,
She talking about touchdown, nigga. Let me give you some head.
Wow.
Touchdown.
I didn't know how I felt about it, but I let it happen.
I let it happen.
I let God do what He had set up for me.
But what do you think that's gay though?
No,
No,
I mean, I would. I'm just from another generation.
right. So
but
how
okay,
did
she didn't have a
approach you?
fade. nigga.
I'd be like Manny Fresh. I don't know.
Did she approach
Young,
you?
Like-
what's the little rapper name? Young M.A.? Young
No,
Ma?
she wasn't that aggressive.
Was she like this?
Queen Latifah set it off aggressive?
She was like Queen Latifah, not set
Niggas-
off.
Niggas,
Latifah in real life. But
Oh, so
maybe
she
with
was-
like
Queen Latifah fake fine right
an
now.
Adidas suit or something, you'll
Oh
take
yeah, I'll
some
bust
pussy.
Queen. Shout
In
out.
her
So she
Adidas
was
suit.
like,
Tap in with me, Queen
Teddy,
Latifah.
It's halftime.
You and ITY pussy.
Pass me that broom, nigga.
She wasn't that sensual, but yeah.
She wasn't that sensual. She was like, pass me that broom, my nigga. I'm gonna suck your dick in 5 minutes, okay?
Nah, whatever.
She
I
wasn't
think
like that?
we had ordered some Papa John's.
So let me ask you both this question because look, they got to leave in a second. I want to get as much out of the youngsters as I can.
Okay.
So, what constitutes a woman wasting your time?
Wasting my money
So wasting your money
is wasting my time.
is wasting your time.
To me personally, yeah.
So, because let's unpack that, and then I'm gonna jump to Teddy.
Okay.
Wasting your money, like if
I'm-
you take her to Ruth Chris, as you mentioned, and maybe a movie, and are you expecting something after you?
No, if I take if I have a female with me at a high-end restaurant, I was gonna go regardless. She just happened to be with me.
So tell me how she would waste your time then. I mean,
Wasting
your
my
money.
time is
your money.
you planning on doing these things. That's wasting my time. I'm not planning on going to Rude Chris. Don't hit me a week in advance talking about let's go here. I'm not thinking about that. I'm trying to get some money. But if we kicking it and I end up doing this, and that, and then we end up eating here, then now we ain't wasting time. We just spending time together. Y'all talking about?
So when she
Then
gets
that's good.
included, she just
But
included
deal
his
with
plan.
the money part.
Yeah,
You
that's
said
what I
wasting my
wanna hear.
money.
Yeah,
It's
but-
wasting my time.
But if we plan on spending money, then you wasting my time and money because I'm planning on making money.
Do you do know you got to spend money?
Yeah, that
On women.
come with the day.
Period.
We're not planning it though. I'm not planning on.
So a woman can't come to you and go, nigga, I want to go to Jamaica.
All right, get us our tickets. And I'm gonna get us our tickets. I'm gonna check my schedule.
Ain't nobody paying for no dick around here these days. It's no.
Well,
they are
you
paying
got a
for
small,
it, I'm sure
you got to
that
pay a
they doing
small
it.
fee to come fuck with me. I'm talking about.
They are paying.
Oh,
That's some pimp. You from the Bay? Is he from
That's
the
what I'm
Bay?
saying.
Yes.
That's
They
pimp
can't
shit.
ask this nigga right.
Okay.
It works for me.
That area,
You gotta pay a small fee to fuck with me.
That's some pimp shit. A hoe gotta break herself.
No,
That's
it's just-
basically what you're saying.
no.
You
It
just said a hoe gotta break herself.
no. And you got to pay a small fee to come fuck with me. So it just not.
And it's rhyming. That's pimp shit, nigga.
That's just part of the territory where the area that nigga
That's
come
that
from.
Fillmore Slim talk.
Yeah, that's just the whole area. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh yeah, Phil
Like,
just
look
gave me
here.
the inside. You from where the Mac was made?
yes.
You on some pimp shit,
No,
nigga.
that ain't.
Own your pimp.
Put a comment. Y'all put a comment. Let us know. I'm thinking that's normal.
Now you're not owning your pimp
That's
shit.
not normal.
No, it's not normal.
So
The
that's
nigga got a Laverne and Shirley necklace on. Hey, own your pimpin', nigga. Own it.
He got that big
so I'm attracted to boss women. You know what I'm saying? Like if a woman got her shit together, it ain't gonna hurt her to treat me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's why you like older women.
Exactly.
But again, you have to
They need a
identify, and this is why I tell the youngsters, man, like you got to identify your influences. Influences in the home, influences in the town, influences in the state. So you can understand this is how I relate to other motherfuckers. Like it didn't take me long to hear the pimping you. That's some pimp shit, right? And so,
What about player?
no,
that's not
but
pimp.
what I'm saying is, in my opinion, back in the day, the pimp shit, it was fucked up because, that's just the game. Whatever that game is, it's just fucked up. But
It's the game of life.
it's the game, right? But pimp ideology, in my opinion, gets more out of women today because it's so flighty with y'all generation. So you might as well take advantage, manipulate, do whatever the fuck you gonna do.
I honestly think women get more money than men nowadays.
I think so. That's what I'm saying.
So if
this is
that's
a whole
the case,
pimp
we got
culture
to
right now.
spend something.
So
Hey,
he fucking me up right now. He fucking me up. I want to hear how you get them to spend some. What would you say?
yes, please.
Okay.
There's the scenario.
This is my shit. I got an A+ at this. I got graded good for this.
Let's hear this shit.
I don't present nothing to a female that I can't offer. So that's the rule number one. A woman don't feel comfortable giving you something if you can't give it to yourself. Baby, I'm eating this. I'm going here regardless. I want you to come with me, but make it easier for you to come with me. I'm gonna make it easier for me to be with you. You know what I'm talking about?
No, nigga.
Yeah, that's how you do
Now
it.
you gotta ask the women, did any of that shit
no.
right
It went over your head like a shower cap. You know what I'm talking about?
Let me tell you what he just said. I'm going to eat here. Now, bitches, you got some money. You can eat with a nigga.
No.
That's what I'm
No.
Absolutely.
Look, put it like this.
Or is that a fancy way of saying we going Dutch?
We don't Dutch. We don't Dutch.
Okay, I got it this time, but you get it the next time.
Players don't keep score. We keep scoring. You know what I'm talking about? So so this is what it is.
This shit makes sense.
You put a church finger out of your ass. Oh my God.
The chair broke. That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah, exactly. What you sitting
That's a
on is
metaphor.
unfounded, nigga.
that's what I'm saying.
That's that shaky
'Cause
ground,
y'all
nigga.
trying to break the code of the game. That's
No,
what
you
the
didn't
chair
broke
The
the
chair
chair.
broke the
Look.
code.
I'm telling
I
you.
ain't
look.
never seen a skinny nigga and the chair break on a
That's
skinny
why I just thank the Lord I
Obama
wasn't in it.
That chair was made by an old woman that said, I ain't paying you, nigga.
Exactly.
No.
So let me ask Sarah about your response. Sarah,
This is what I think about guys like this.
because to women, that's a specific kind of guy.
This is a specific kind of guy.
What kind of guy is that?
This is a motherfucker. Okay, this is what we call a motherfucker. That's all that. Oh yeah, I ain't gonna fuck with nobody that don't have as much as me or more. But at the same time, they give flack to women that don't fuck with niggas that don't have as much as them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Run it back.
But
if
again,
if she a CEO,
Sarah, you just hit on something very powerful. You just hit on the flippity floppity of the gender roles.
Yeah.
Back in the day, a man felt like a man because he had all the resources.
Exactly.
Right.
And it was a woman who would say, nigga, you better have A, B, and C and all the way down to Z together in order for me to even be serious about you. That was back in the day because a woman was concerned about being taken care of.
Exactly.
Now, men are speaking with women's talking points by saying she got to have as much as me.
Not as much.
Oh.
If I'm with you, I'm with you. If you with me, you with me. I'm not paying for your ideas.
Right.
Why this girl got to say?
No. You're
No,
not
I'm
saying
just-
for her ideas, but that's before. That's because you done made you something out of yourself when you was a broke ass nigga.
I was the
You know what I'm
same
saying?
nigga. I'm from the Bay though. It's different.
Yeah, I mean, you from the Bay,
I'm different. It's
but
different.
broke ass niggas, they always want somebody to see potential in their ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make it and shit like that. But now you got a little something, you're smelling yourself. Now you only fuck with people that got at you or more than you. So that's fucked
No,
up.
I think
that's not what he said.
no. That's a corny guy.
Okay, explain.
A corny guy is demanding some. That's you helping somebody that can't help themselves. I don't want nothing out of you that I can't get from me.
Exactly.
Right.
So
Agreed.
that's what I'm saying. But women gonna naturally take care of anybody who they love anyways.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So if you gonna let that bum drive your car and he go cheat with the other woman, you might as well let me drive your car to go get some money. That's all I'm saying.
But what my thing is to you though.
Yo, tell her, Teddy, get Teddy in here, and then I'm gonna come back to you.
I'm not a pimp, you know. I got a lawyer.
That's just, I'm just saying.
No, Teddy, because it's a whole different perspective for you.
Right.
Listen, on this show we keep it 100. You a big nigga.
Right.
Now you got
Automatically,
The
they
bigger
assume
dick.
I'm tricking.
So I'm just saying, right? So it's a whole different set of motherfucking politics that you got to navigate.
Right.
Big nigga, celebrity, different shit that he got to navigate in order to
Right.
see if a motherfucker real.
Exactly.
So my question to you now is, how do you pick the one out to be like, okay, I'm finna put some time into her and I want to see this thing through? How do you deal with that?
Yes, Teddy.
Usually, I try to go for women who I think have a more pure heart than what society is kicking out. You
Another
feel me?
fat girl.
Another fat. I mean, she could be.
Just keep it 100.
My last
But
bitch sung
no,
gospel. You
not
feel
true.
me?
Yeah, that's what I'm
You know
talking
how
about.
She built.
Yeah, he's
So,
a
you
spaghetti
know.
making bitch.
Right, that part. But really, I feel like you gotta have some type of a lot of self-love, but a lot of awareness about what's around you and shit. Like, just I don't know.
Aware of life.
Yeah.
Oh, she positive
that's what I'm
energy,
saying, like-
positive energy.
First off, you live in a tricking society. You live in
But
a
I'm
pimp-
also an LA nigga, and
but that's
we not that. We cousins to the Bay. We don't necessarily pimp, but bitch, you gonna have to put this pistol between your titties. You gonna have to do a whole lot of shit.
Why
But
you
that's
look
what
at
I'm-
my titties
Because
and
they
say a
perfect
pistol?
for like I get 4-5 and
no,
You
but
hit a
no,
nine,
and
not a 45.
and I'm trying to be sensitive. I'm trying
like
to
how
be
she know what her
sensitive
song
without being, disrespectful. But the reality of it is, man, we live in a superficial society. We live in a society that judges you by what you've accumulated.
Yes.
So, have you ever recognized this bitch is just with me because I'm Teddy the comedian?
yeah.
But
for
she
sure.
don't fuck with Teddy the 300-pounder or whatever. She don't fuck with Teddy.
275.
Okay, the 275. Yeah.
Thank you. You so
Let me
wrong.
tell you.
But that's what
That's
I'm
a low
saying.
number.
Man, she gave me
But that's
ass
what
on
I'm
that.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, she fucking with Teddy for now. Maybe Teddy is the key into the industry that she could
Exactly.
never get
Wow.
into.
Exactly.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, how
Common
the fuck
bitches.
do you navigate that shit, bro?
It's hard, bro. I'm still navigating. You feel me? A lot of women out here secretly.
You know-
I can link them to Chris Brown or somebody.
Or they think you a trick. Or
Right,
something. They think you a
like
big
if I can't get no money out of them, at least I can meet.
You know the
these
sign of that is signs to that. It's that I want to come to your show, but just put me on the guest list.
No, bitch. Pass.
No. If you support me, come support me and holler at me after the show.
Right.
Yeah.
But so I'm not acting famous. I'm not acting like I'm too good. I'm just checking your temperature on it.
Right.
Because if I'm a male and I'm supporting what you doing here, baby, I'm gonna come buy you a little
Yeah.
ticket to come see your little show out. You did your thing, baby. I'm not pimping. It's appreciation. I'm trying to treat you. I'm trying to be equal. I'm trying to be
So
fair.
you'll have more respect for a woman who bought a ticket to your show
Right.
than one who asked to get on the guest list.
Yes.
No, but
I
what
feel
what
the
is
same
talking about
way about
passes?
men too. They should not be.
That's a
asking-
cheap ass man,
yeah,
right?
Because if you asking me to get
You
on
want to
my
fuck but
guest
don't want to
list,
feed me.
and we ain't even went out yet. You got a guest list. That's what I get a lot. You Donnie Keith, I know you got a nigga. I am nobody. You're gonna pay like everybody else.
Yeah.
Get your 15 ready. Player.
Right.
And I'm not paying. I don't want you to pay off of money. I want you to pay off principle.
Just because you want to come to my show.
Yeah, I'm not
And
against.
as a sign of encouragement that you actually slightly believe in it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Especially, I have
Not
to
to
go through that at
reproduce.
Ralph's. You know what I'm saying? That people try to come through my line trying to get free shit.
Sarah.
I would come to
I know.
You got that person.
Let me scan this. Buy one, get one free. Okay. I'm sorry.
Sarah,
Yes.
now, we've talked on numerous occasions. You've had some real fucking adventures out here in LA since you've been here from Houston.
Yes.
Talk to me about the difficulty of finding someone to invest your time in.
Okay, so I mean, I have gone through like I'm not saying I've dated a lot of guys, but I think they go. Okay, really? Okay. No, but they like span like a little spectrum, you know, from older guys to guys that may have a little bit, you know, going on and everything. But anyway, it has been very, very different because guys out here that I've noticed, like they kind of like think like y'all, like you get your own shit. And then I have my shit, and if I feel like paying for you, then I will. But give me that pussy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like I supposed to just give everything to them, but they're very like, okay, you know, sparingly try to give in allowances what they think you should have of them, which is not hasn't been very well out here. I'm not saying that I've slept with all these guys or something like that.
Let me just say, when you come from a different place, and Sarah has been a lesbian for a long time.
Yes, I used to be a lesbian for 10
y'all
years.
that don't know this, watching this episode
Yes.
for the first time, Sarah was a lesbian for 10 years. She's been a retired lesbian for 10 years. So,
my
when
numbers
you're
are hung in the
dating
rafters.
New niggas in a whole new town, and you used to get pussy. It's a little different. You
Yeah.
know, because there's rules to dick. So
I don't know
you're
the
just learning
rules.
the new dick rules.
Yeah, I don't know
You're coming
dick
out of
rules.
Pussy.
I don't know because pussy is very
like
like different. Like I finally I kind of got to had an inside track on pussy because I have one. But on dick, y'all are very like guys say that females are emotional, but guys are very emotional too, and y'all very like
Guys are very
all
emotional,
over the
guys are very
place.
territorial.
Right.
Yes, they are, but at the same time, it's like you in order for at least even a dog even sniffs out and pees on at least the territory before it act like it's his. You know what I'm saying? Like the guys don't want to give up nothing. They don't want to
they
give.
sniffing us out
You know,
already.
certain.
We sniff y'all.
Oh, y'all sniffing or whatever, but then you want to piss and possess. You know what I'm saying? Like that's yours, and it's not yours. You haven't put in no type of time and effort or anything like that. And the little time that you do put in, it's not worth all of my time. Is that wrong?
So let me ask you this question. Just
Why is
based off
everybody
of the
looking at me? Is
logic
that
you
wrong?
just laid out there, just
Whole
based
world
off of
like,
that,
I'm single for me.
just based off of that, are you saying both men and women are wasting each other's time?
Yes, in a sense. In a sense,
But that's not gonna stop Sarah without the H
Uh-huh.
from fucking.
No, because that's my choice. It's like, you know, the
See, that's
the
where y'all
men
get in
that
trouble.
Why?
Yes, it's your choice to say I'm going to fuck today or not. Like I'm going to have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I mean,
Yeah,
it's-
with toasted bread.
Let me just say this though. You don't choose the person that shows up in your life, even though you choose to fuck them.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times they show up so you can deal with some shit that you haven't dealt with internally.
Absolutely.
See,
I'm sure.
again, we done turned motherfucking the relationship thing into Dave and Buster's. It's just we at a place and we doing some shit, but we don't understand why we're there.
Right.
Yeah, but
At
it's
least you know why you at Dave and Buster's for fucking shits and giggles,
I think,
fun and games.
I have like relationship ADD
It's a
too.
new relationship.
Yeah, but the thing is that like the experiences that I've experienced that I've had here, is that like guys at first like I'd be, you know, like I'm open to whatever's gonna like happen and everything, but then like the fuckery begins, like stupid shit start happening. Either I find out or realize that I got bored, I really didn't want it anyway, or I don't only want dick.
What
You know what I'm
did
saying?
I
Like that's all I want. Like I come to a point in my life, I guess since I'm older, and I'm obviously must have having a flash right now, but that there's some guys that I just want to fuck. I don't want to be in a relationship with you. I just want to fuck.
I got a question.
Is that a problem?
What
I
makes
don't have
you
any problem.
What makes you feel good? What you think that you do to make the man feel good without giving them sex in a dating stage?
Oh, I'm a very fun person. I'm a very fun person.
Like what?
We
But
go
it's-
out.
that's what you say,
I'm
no,
a very good
no,
conversation.
You
This is
know what?
this is
Let's
feedback.
ask the
This has
same
been
question.
my reviews.
That's a great question.
That's my
Yeah.
reviews.
Right.
So, well, no, let's flip it another
Come
way.
back.
Let's flip it another
Relationship
way, and then we're
yelp,
gonna
I
bring in
guess.
Howie. Let's flip it another way.
I like that question.
Can you name 3 things? This is for everybody on the panel. Can you name 3 things about your character that others may find annoying?
Annoying?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. I know.
Sure.
Start with you.
I know one of mine is that as a defense mechanism that I've always have. If I get very nervous or if in an uncomfortable situation, even doing sex, I'll laugh.
She does that.
I do it a
Annoying
lot.
as fuck.
I do it. Another part about me is that I oftentimes, you know, sing songs randomly on different things.
Another
I believe
annoying
life is a
thing.
musical, so therefore you may get a song every now and then. If I'm feeling it, I don't care if it's on
That's
key or
Teddy.
anything. I love it all
Man,
the
life
time.
be a musical like mother.
Life is a musical,
Teddy?
and yeah.
Did you give me your 3?
Oh, no, I only gave you 2.
Okay, give me
but
your
my
third.
third one would probably be I'm very indecisive.
Okay, and I'll give you 4. You're long-winded.
Oh my god! And I'll give you 5. I'm a one-upper.
Teddy, your 3.
I don't know. I'll be annoyed by myself.
Just 3 things, man. This is terrible. radio.
Maybe I'm slow to react on certain things.
That's pretty obvious.
Me just be having me kind of like, if you'll tell me something hella important, I'll just be like, all right,
That's annoying.
bet.
Yeah.
Hey, nigga, the house just burnt down. Right on.
Real.
Nah.
Like it's hard. I like emotion. Finding emotion for me is hard. You feel
Wow.
me? 'Cause,
Why?
I
Why do you think
understand
that?
I don't know. I like to contribute to being abandoned as a child.
Oh no,
No,
you
it
were.
could be that. Yeah.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
nobody hears your cries, then it's like, why say something?
Exactly.
Now you
Oh,
get
for
into the real
real. Oh,
the real
really?
shit
Right.
because that's just gonna manifest itself in every relationship you're in.
Yes.
So you're gonna attract people who are going to try to pull that out of you.
Right.
They're gonna want the emotional connection,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm blocking it.
but nah,
I'm putting the Trump wall.
that's
on
why
my
they're there.
Like
Like
the Trump wall.
so again,
They
people.
did chip away at that wall.
I've
So
met a
again,
couple
let me
guys.
make this point for Teddy here. I always say relationship is a highly reflective classroom, right? Where your partner reflects the shit you gotta work on. So how many women have you had that have been a little needy, a little clingy, and trying to pull it out of you?
Right.
You underdig? That's because you got the wall up saying, nah, man, this is my defense mechanism. This is how I protect myself. So now your question is around vulnerability. And if you can't be vulnerable, you can't be authentic. So now the women are like, is the nigga really for me? Does
You
the
don't
nigga
have one
really?
big
That's
long
real
dig-
game.
dig a
Do you
tongue.
get what I'm saying?
That's real game.
Well,
So I
one.
gotta cry. I gotta turn into Donnell Jones.
Or somebody, nigga.
That's real game.
Somebody. What's your 3?
Oh man, mine's bad. It's gonna sound horrible, but
Sure.
Here we go.
it sounds bad.
Him
I'm not-
shit. Bitch gotta break herself. You understand? You might find it annoying, but bitch, you gotta come out your pocket.
I know mine because I grew up in a household. My mom and dad married my whole life, So I got a great relationship with my mom, so I know what my problem is. She be pointing it out to me all the time. So I think it's I'm not affectionate. I'm not an affectionate person. Women love that shit, and I'm horrible at that. I'm not thoughtful.
Oh, look at that.
I'm not thoughtful.
That's big.
That's big. It's big shit.
Right,
This nigga's
right.
thoughtless.
The thoughtful. I'm working on it. That's how at least I know what it is, because I'm actually trying to get better at it.
Bitch, I ain't thinking about that.
I'm that nigga. I'm not thinking about that. Goes back to don't call me about no vacation a week from now.
What's my favorite color, nigga? I don't
I ain't never texted a bitch good
So
morning.
the third one,
Jim.
She like the third one?
look, we waiting on that
This
third
nigga
one.
don't know his girl's birthday, nothing.
Yeah, I'm one of them. Yeah.
Reminder of your phone, nigga.
I got other stuff going. I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
What else? What's the third one?
Thoughtful, and I'm kind of I'm real close-minded when it comes to like I'm kind of selfish, I think.
Ain't nobody gonna fuck with you. Close-minded, thoughtless,
Yeah.
and selfish.
Yeah.
And unaffectionate.
Bitch, bring a sandwich with you to the picnic.
Let me give you
I gotta really like you.
And she got to pay for Jamaica.
my three.
I gotta really like
are, I have a crazy laugh and it can annoy people. Look at Teddy, yes. I got that wild laugh. My second one is that I'm emotionless sometimes. I can just show no emotion when people are upset. Nigga, whatever.
What?
Anyway,
That nigga see you cry before. It's like, knock it off.
he know. And then
Sweetheart, knock it off.
well, I can't. I'm a very much a sweetheart, but I have that bitchy side. And the third one
Is bitchy emotional?
yes, it's an emotion for
But
me.
you're not emotional.
Well, I said sometimes. So anyway, like I was saying, I can be emotionless.
So when you're emotionless, you're forcing it. You're doing it on purpose.
Damn, that's facts.
When you really want to cry, this nigga Zoe getting this nigga's mom.
Oh my mama, Zoe got dumbass days. He got game.
Always coming real.
I know how he get his women.
Yes, nigga. And the third one. The
Motherfuckers
third
be
one.
coming with bullshit though. You're like, I'ma let it ride. No.
The third thing I do that's annoying is if you tell me something and I find it unimportant, I might not remember that shit. It might be important to you,
Yes.
but I'll remember it later.
No, you
when
won't.
It's like
So
2
you're
days
not
later.
thoughtful.
No, you won't.
Yes, I
You
will.
won't.
I'll say
You
something
won't.
like 2 days later. I get bad compliments.
Y'all niggas should
Put
get
it that
together.
way.
That's what I'm saying. She's saying the same shit I'm
You like
saying.
cougars. This
Oh my
motherfucker
God.
is
She
a
gets
full
terrible compliments.
I got a third leg. I got a
Hey
third
brothers,
leg.
I appreciate y'all for coming on the show, man.
I appreciate you for having us.
You are
This
terrible.
shit was cool,
I'm
man.
I'm working on
Hey
it.
Teddy,
What's up with it?
I'm a bad
listen, man,
person
you
trying
gotta
to be
work on
good.
that shit.
What?
I
My
got-
heart?
Yeah,
Okay.
I got books for you.
Okay.
Not mine. I mean, you can read mine too.
Okay.
But nigga,
How to tear that wall down?
yeah.
We have a book club, Teddy.
Yeah, you gotta get that wall
got a
down.
GED.
But I understand. Listen. But I understand why that motherfucker up now.
Man,
Right.
And in this game, in this town,
gotta be up.
you know dig? So,
There
but
is
you gotta
some
start
wild
chipping
hoe.
away at that, especially as you grow older. You know what I'm saying?
I be thinking about moving to the south sometimes just so I can
Oh, Houston.
feel like I can maybe be around some real love or
Do
something.
you understand
No.
what I'm saying? I understand.
I'm from the house. I'm from the south.
So don't go to the south.
What do you
Thank
mean?
Because they all,
Yeah.
they all just want to fuck.
No, they don't. And they make you biscuits.
Let me
It's
tell you
okay.
right now,
Former
nigga.
lesbians.
You go down to the
All
south.
Former lesbians.
They know how to make the cream of wheat.
I
You know
how to
what?
You know
make
you
cream
fuck with
of
them
wheat.
cream of wheat, nigga. They fuck with, they got the grits. They
bet
got
you they
all
make
they
me
shit
without
got
love.
butter in
Damn,
it.
we got
nigga.
nachos.
You gonna be good. You go down there,
I'm
and they
also-
gonna make that shit every Sunday.
Be
Nigga.
738
In
pounds.
LA, we got nachos too.
Nacho
But y'all don't,
hoes.
but
That's
y'all
what
don't
we
have a
got.
queso though.
Hey, but bro, I appreciate you guys. Tell everybody real quick where they can find y'all one more time.
Y'all can find me Teddy Ray Comedy online, Teddy Ray everything, or just follow the Cali Kickback on YouTube. We there every Monday, or what's the days we post, Ryan? Every Friday.
Every Friday on YouTube, the Cali
Friday.
Kickback. Me and Teddy Ray. My name is Louis Belt. On all social media, follow me at Lou Do Too Much.
Lou,
Okay.
when was the last time you whooped your woman?
God,
Your last
whooping
name is
women?
Belt. You feel bear. You a pimp.
No, you know what I'm saying? You know,
Lord, you
yeah, we don't hit women, man. I
Y'all
love
the old
everybody.
women, they break their bones.
We just choke them a little bit when you do it to them.
Not them old ass women, kill
You
ass.
know what I'm saying? We
Hey,
don't
no,
sell
but I-
dreams, we sell other things.
No,
you know
but
what
I
I'm talking
really
about?
appreciate you guys' input tonight, man. That was dope, man.
Thank
Youngsters
y'all.
coming in.
Yeah, you
Thank
dropped
y'all.
some real game on us. We needed
I
that.
tried, man.
Oh,
Let's
mama.
get how we feel in
with
here.
your
Let's do it.
Okay. Chip this wall down.
Look at that wall, brick by brick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Voice of Reason, man, on
Oh,
VOR Radio, man. I got my homeboy Howie Bell about to get up in here, man. This topic is good. This is the first time we've integrated men with women on the Voice of Reason. Now we have a married man,
Hey.
a man who is not a millennial.
A grown ass
Is
man.
he a boomer
Now,
too?
Ladies,
I know
Is he a boomer
what's
too?
happening?
No, you a boomer.
I know I'm a boomer.
No,
I mean,
you
no,
don't.
I'm an X. I'm a Generation X.
She was born in '66. She's claiming Generation X.
You were born in '66. That's not
Yeah.
Gen X.
I tried to tell
What
her.
is that?
That
I'm not a
That's the
boomer.
end of the boomers.
side of
My mama
boom-
was-
I told her that's the end of the boomers.
My mama was a boomer.
And so are you.
How is that possible?
Your mother had you when she was 12.
My mama had me when she was 20.
You a boomer. It's all right.
She was a little fast. It's
Just own
okay.
it. Your mother might be well before the
And
boomers.
then what is the generation? I'm 72.
Xers.
We Generation X.
We're
That's
I'm
right.
like
Oh
y'all.
my God, when they say, I'm expert too.
Yeah,
80?
what, 80?
Uh-huh.
Is 80
You're-
Generation
you're-
X?
80 is Generation X too.
TY,
Okay.
All right.
XYZ.
Anyway, we're talking about the wasting of time in relationship. Now everybody understands that time is the most irreplaceable currency in a person's life. How do we put time into a developing relationship? How do we know a developing relationship is worth the time we're willing to invest in it?
That's a great question.
Especially today.
You don't know until you've invested and lost some time.
Ah.
Go deeper.
You got to spend time to get time.
You got to spend time to waste time.
You gotta spend time to get that
Spend
time, to put
I mean,
in time.
I mean, it's no way of getting around it. You're gonna have to enjoy somebody's company or not enjoy somebody's company to whether you know whether you want to be around them or not.
Absolutely.
So that's the only way it happens. It's
Do
trial
you
and error.
have to live with them?
I believe that if the more serious you get in a relationship, I think you should live with. Everybody should at least live together.
Before
To see
they marry.
definitely before you get married, but just in general, if you really
That's
think
against
that you,
Jesus, though.
whatever.
It is.
But I think that, I mean, that's another story. But I think that you should live with it. You really don't know a person unless you live with them. You really don't know. People can hide all kind of stuff.
Okay.
And all kind of ways that they do things and operate. If you're really, truly serious about giving yourself up to somebody and, spending your time with somebody else, live with them.
Okay, and what about if you've been married before, divorced, you've lived with someone
Oh, well.
before, and then you get in a relationship later in life? Do you still think they have to go through the living together process before they get married?
Yes. I think that everybody's different.
Okay.
And especially if you're going to do it again and take that time, I say, I want to try this again. But you still got to get to know that person again. This is a different
Yeah.
person.
You should
You
still
gotta
live
get to
with
know
them
yourself, too.
At least
You know what I'm
6
saying?
months before you get married.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
but
I don't know why would you
It's
want to do it again.
different.
But
No, I'm just saying, I'm always, because I was married before.
Right.
I like being married. I lived with my son's dad.
yeah.
I mean, he was an asshole, but I like the living situation. I like
A lot of
knowing
women
I
a
like
lot of
knowing
women
who
like
I'm coming home to.
Right.
Put it that way. I like knowing my dick's
Security and
rules.
comfort.
I like knowing every vein. You know what I'm saying? I like knowing what his shit is. I don't want to have to be confused about a new nigga. You know what I mean?
But I feel like
then-
they come in as a deficit. You know what I'm saying? Because you have the experience of living with somebody and being married before, but it's different. Like being my age though, and dating guys that are my age or older, they've dealt with people like you, not like me, before that I haven't had that experience. you know, but I'm expecting to know everything that a woman like you have already experienced.
That's interesting.
You know?
That's interesting.
I get what you got, but I don't think all men think that you're expected to know. I think that they do have some expectations of a woman.
How about
just
that?
like, you know, just like women
And then
have
there's that.
expectations of men.
They
You know
expect
what
a
I'm saying?
woman to
You don't
be a
expect for a
woman.
man to be Superman, but you expect him to do some things. You know what I'm saying? When you have a man.
Absolutely.
Like when I do certain things, like I cook. A lot of my friends, they just don't cook.
Right.
Their men do all the cooking,
Right.
but those men like to cook.
Right.
Then I know men that like to compare their recipes with mine. So it just depends on what the level of your maturity is in the man's maturity.
You can cook very good.
And how many relationships you've been in before. Because that matters too.
Yes. So let me
I
ask this
say
question.
3 serious
Let me ask
That
this
matters.
question as well.
at 52.
You got another thing you want to switch
That
out?
was it.
You
I
see, I'm
just-
trying to transition
On
on a Saturday.
and it was raining.
Exactly. Jesus. Have you wasted a great deal of time in your life in a dead-end relationship? And what is your definition of a dead-end relationship? The panel. Howie?
Me first.
Yes.
Why not? Yes, I've been in dead end relationships. You don't know that they're dead end until you
Until it's
dead
over?
end.
Until you're at the cul-de-sac.
Like,
You're like, you know what? This ain't working.
Right.
You know, I've been there. You don't want to let them go. You know, for a lot of frivolous reasons. They may be beautiful to you, so you don't want nobody else to be with them. That's a reason why people don't let go of dead end relationships. They may have money. You may feel insecure if they leave. That security. Oh, my man, I'm used to coming home to something. So it's been dead end relationships, man, that I've been in that I'm like, really want this to work. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't notice how dead of a dead end it was until it was kind of too late.
Interesting
so-
answer. Sarah?
It's funny this question came up because like this past week about after midnight on Wednesday I got a call from my ex-girlfriend from like 17 years ago, and she said she had been thinking about me like a lot, and the relationship with her was very dead end because I knew that even though she had been broken up from this female for like a year before we started dating, she was very much still in love with her. So like I told her, like we were together at the right and the wrong time. It was right for her because she had somebody that took her shit while she was going through all this stuff. It was the wrong time for me because she was very verbally abusive like towards me. And so she was calling me to ask for my forgiveness, and I told her I forgave her years ago because I didn't know if I was ever going to interact with her again because that's how much of a dead situation it was. When I left her like she remembers the day that I came and got my dress and left. Like that was at her house for a wedding I was supposed to go to.
Is this somebody you was dating?
Yes, we were together 3.5 years. And it was like it was the worst 3.5 years. I should have never been there 3 days because I knew that she was not
On a
over
deeper
her
level.
situation.
She was,
On a deeper level.
She was abusive.
She was very verbally abusive to me. She never let her hands on me, and she was an older woman. I was
But
like
you're
23,
internally abusive to yourself.
absolutely,
So now you understand the purpose of why she was there,
yeah.
to reflect that back. So in a way, what is considered a dead-end relationship is actually the beginning of your own self-realization. That's why you attracted her in the first place.
But I felt like at that dead end, when I turned around like to get out, like I felt like I was in another dead end. So it's like I feel like I had to be airlifted out of that situation because I had shut off everybody else.
But you got to the point where you recognized this is not good.
Yeah.
But only externally. This is not good for her to be doing this to me. When did you get to the point where you said, this is not good for me to be doing this to myself? That's a two-way street.
But that wasn't until I forgave her that I realized that.
But-
I never realized it in it.
But see, this is why I asked, what's the definition of a dead-end relationship? Is it not getting what you want?
But and that's
Or not understanding why you're in the relationship, why you are getting what you're getting. A lot of people don't understand why I'm getting what I'm
Yeah,
getting.
why I'm getting it.
So when you in the space of not knowing why you're getting what you're getting, you tend to label that as a dead end situation because most of our relationships are outcome based.
Right.
But I automatically just threw it to the default explanation that I wasn't supposed to be with a woman anyway. That's what I kind of just threw it off to.
That's how you were able to get the fuck out.
Yeah. At
You
that
needed
time.
an excuse.
But
Yeah.
you still kept dealing with other women after her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I was a repeat offender.
And we're done.
I was a revolving door.
Peaches?
That's interesting.
I think when I knew that I had dealt with a dead end situation, was Frank, the one that I cried over that day on the show, because he really hurt
You
me.
want to cry about Frank again?
Nah, I'm over it
You
now.
sure?
That day, I didn't even know I wasn't over it till that day we talked about it.
Shit, you're
Now
not
I'm
over it now.
completely
You about to
over it.
cry.
No, anyway, this nigga like to fuck with me. It's okay. That's my friend. Sap.
No problem.
Back to what I was saying. I think I knew I was in a dead end situation because of the simple fact that I had been through that with my son's dad. The man had put his hands on me.
Right.
Red flags. Here comes this new nigga. It's a few years later. I think I'm balling. I'm doing everything. Barbering, making my money. Writing jokes for people. Wasn't even a comedian, but I'm writing comedians' jokes. Getting paid for it. So I'm like, I don't need none of these niggas. To myself, here comes Frank. Mr. Swinging Dick. And I'm thinking I'm in love with him. But the lessons were the same. This nigga was a cheater. He was from that lifestyle, that street lifestyle, had made money, had learned his lessons, been to jail. It was still the same nigga, just in a different package. When he slapped the shit out of me one day when we was arguing, that was the last day we was together because I wasn't going to put myself through.
Back in that situation.
No.
But you had already
But
put
my
yourself back.
lesson
Yes.
wasn't over yet. The lesson was that I was still attracted to them because I was still attracted to that lifestyle. I was still selling
There
weed.
we go.
I was still trying to hustle on the side. So once I cut all that hustling slick shit, all that slick shit, that quick money, and just kept cutting hair, that's when my life changed.
So this is, your mic is rubbing, baby. Yeah. You might as well just show the
those
side
type of
titty, it's
men
fine.
that you were attracted to disappeared, basically.
Yes, they disappeared, and then I married a square.
So now let me ask this question. Was that relationship a waste of time?
No.
Because ultimately, you what?
I had to learn what I had to learn from it. I had to go through
Whether
it.
you was in it with the first nigga or the second nigga, you was gonna get the lesson.
I was gonna get the lesson. And the lesson was to love myself more than I loved making all these little slick moves to make money. Thinking it was like I was reliving the extension of my mother's life.
So your
Because she
relationship was
slick.
a reflection of your hustler life. So you had to have a hustler nigga.
I had to. Some type of hustle in. Even though he had a blue collar job,
I love it.
he still had that hustle in him.
Yeah, sophisticated
He had that. I
thug.
couldn't, because I didn't think I could deal with a regular dude. Because my mom and them was wild as fuck. I grew up around pimps, prostitutes, the music industry. My daddy's best friends were people like Rick James and Bobby DeBarge. There was a lot of cocaine around my house growing up. So I saw way too much growing up. So that's that fast lifestyle mentality you get. It's like niggas ain't shit if they ain't got no money. And I got nothing but brothers and male cousins, and all they do is hustle. So for me to see a regular dude going to work every day, I was like, that weenie ass nigga. But in reality, that's what I really am, is that weenie ass bitch. I like going to work every day. But that slick shit came from me. I guess you could call it a generational curse that I had to break.
Interesting.
I had to break that generational curse. Somebody had to.
Whose time are you wasting today?
I'm not wasting anybody's time today. Only my own.
I'm talking about in relationship.
In a relationship, I don't feel like I'm wasting anyone's time now. Because I know what I want. And if he knows what he wants, then it won't be a waste of time because we both put in that time.
Are you working with him or are you working towards to get what you want from him?
I don't want anything from him. I don't expect anything from him. I'm just getting to know him.
You want that boy, don't you?
Man, we are all air. You is not.
Shout out to
nigga.
Shout out to my friend.
want something out of every relationship.
Yes, talk to him.
I mean, something, right?
Oh, I want,
Everybody
I
wants
want
something.
him. I want him.
But that's
Ultimately,
companionship.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Right. You want.
Right.
I mean, you want something out
Yeah,
of every.
I want the companionship. That's what I want.
There you go.
See, that's that.
There you go.
Dick.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
this sounds so terrible. It's a time like sometimes like I want companionship, and other
sometimes
times
you
I
wanna be by
want
yourself.
regular dick. You know what I'm saying? Like I just want to be with somebody that I just so pretty
But
much
you can get both of them together.
Yes, that's what I want. That's like that's a goal.
Somebody you can be a companion with that can give you, satisfy you sexually. It can happen.
Yeah, because a lot of
Companionship
times
is the only way you can be satisfied sexually.
yeah.
But you gotta spend some of your time.
No,
to
it's
see-
not the only way you can be satisfied sexually.
Fully
Like,
satisfied, I believe that if you care about a person and you fucking with a person that you really care about, then that's where the companionship and the good sex and all that, because you can laugh during sex. You can say, nigga, that shit was weird, do
It's
it.
a little more. It's
Oh,
deeper.
but
Take your
laugh
mic and put it
anyway.
there. We
It's
go.
it's deeper. I feel her on that though.
Yeah, it's more spiritual, I believe, in an aspect.
When you
And
care
it's
about
like,
somebody.
I guess because I've gotten older, it's kind of like, and sometimes, especially after my birthday, this when I turned 39, it was like, you know what, just live your life. You
Right,
know,
so-
so like,
Peaches wants the Dillsnick. I'm not mad.
Yeah.
It's true. Look at you giggling it.
But you want somebody that's gonna be there all the time.
Yeah, I want
Yes,
someone.
exactly.
I want someone that wants the same things I want, and that is just to be. I don't need no flips. I don't need you spending no lot of money. I don't need you to take care of me because I could take care of me just fine.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you appreciate yourself? And how much do you want yourself? 10 being optimum, 1 being...
I appreciate myself to a 10, and I would expect a man to appreciate himself like that too. Now, there was a time in my life where I might have felt like a 5, but I knew I wasn't a 5. It was just that I had let myself beat myself down so much from being unappreciated
Being abused.
and being abused.
Y'all seeing where it's coming from, right? Yeah. Even your current desire for companionship is still associated with what you say you're over.
Because you have to go through that
Yeah.
to get to this.
Well,
Exactly.
You
What I'm saying
can't
is,
go through anything that in the
everything
past.
is an extension of your life anyway.
Yeah,
So it's almost like you can't get rid of things. You know what I mean? It's like a tree and roots. And
Yeah, those
they got
branches are below me.
I mean,
It's not about getting rid of, it's about transforming.
right.
Yes, and
See,
I feel like
there's
that.
a difference between change and transformation.
Right.
A lot of people can change relationships, change jobs, change cities. They can change the superficial covering of a situation.
right.
But true transformation comes from an internal change.
right here within.
Right. So if you want companionship, you got to be okay with yourself
Right.
when you don't have it.
Thank you. You gotta, and what I had just said to Sarah not too long ago, I'm okay being with me. I know I could be my myself.
And actually,
I
that's-
had already decided I was gonna be my myself. At 52, it's hard to meet because the men that are attracted to me are young men, like that little younger dude that was in here. They flirt with me all the time. There's nothing you can do for me.
That boy will
You
oil
can't
you
even-
down.
But
You
that's
hear me?
all he could do is oil me down. I can
Make you
satisfy
some-
me very
Put that
much.
down.
I'm just saying.
Put it down.
I don't need you
Is that
for
the
that.
actual finger?
Yes.
is that the actual
This is
finger?
Hacker.
This interview.
Yeah,
How
that's
is
the
this Hacker?
I was hoping we could get through a show without
Not gonna
Hector.
happen. It's
I'm just
not gonna
saying.
happen.
Fuck.
I can satisfy
I
her
got you.
fine.
Got
We
you.
like to be below the border. But I like a grown ass man that knows what he wants too.
There you go.
And when you meet someone who says, I don't want to take care of a woman, you have to respect that because guess what? Bitches is out here loose waiting on a nigga to take care of them.
But relationships are confusing by nature. Right? Confusing by nature. People are works in progress.
Right.
Whether they want to acknowledge the shit or
Everybody.
not, everybody's a
Right.
fucking work in
Yeah,
progress,
yeah.
No
and
matter
nobody
what
is
age.
close to being finished,
Nobody.
right? So why is it that we have this time placed on, this increment of time placed on the relationship? oh, we've been together for 3 years. We should be further along.
Or we should be married by now.
Or we should be married.
I
Like,
think
people
that
always
comes
do
from
that.
their friends.
People always do that.
When women say that, it's usually because they got other women in their ear saying, "Well, I was married and we got married here and we did this."
We were on
But
together this
see,
amount of time.
wow.
if
Girl,
I-
y'all been engaged how long?
yeah, and if
all
you tell
that
your
and-
friends to look in their circle,
Yeah.
tell me how many of your friends that's telling you what you need to be is in a relationship.
Yeah.
Them the ones that's single, telling you how much time you need to be.
But you also have strangers that will give you like advice that you did not ask for too. Like several women always ask me, you know, "Oh, you have any kids?" And I was like, "No." And they were like, "Well, how old are you?" And I tell them my age, and they're like, "Well, if you're waiting to get married, don't do that. Just have you like some kids." I've struggled to take care of my dog. Okay.
Yes.
I just gave my dog a homemade haircut.
And I don't see you.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't see you on that strong ass weed trying to take care of a baby.
No.
I don't see
And
that.
but the thing is, I'm okay with
Take
that.
care of Lola.
And I'm like, I'm like, my dog is fucked up right now, and it has like scissor cuts.
Y'all, she gave the dog a scissor cut. The dog looked like a cake.
But she's
you know, you
amazing
put the
now. I
cake
love you,
Mix
Lola.
on the don't stir it.
Jesus Christ.
The poor dog. There's love, but see, somebody out there is gonna love you just like you are.
Exactly.
With your fucked up cutting.
Me and my
that
fucked up dog.
hair.
And it's okay.
Advice though, getting back to what you were saying, advice from people, man, you gotta kind of know who it's coming from.
Right.
It's hard to take advice when the source ain't quite right.
Right.
You know what I mean? We can all say that, do as I say, not as I do, but come on.
But
Are you really taking marital advice from somebody that's never been married?
but let's push it
You know
further.
what I'm saying? I mean, like, how do you do that?
No, but let's push that thought even further. Number one, nobody's on point
Right.
that's outside of you with regards to giving you advice about you. Not even your partner. You know why? Because they can't experience you as you do.
Right? They can't. Yeah, it's impossible.
Absolutely.
Right? So, marriage, cohabitation, right? These are different relationship models. But the bottom line is they're still relationships.
Yeah.
So, to go back to Howie's point, this is why I always give Steve Harvey credit, because the same logic is used when besmirching Steve Harvey. They'll say, what can he teach me about marriage when he's been divorced 3 times?
That's why.
And
he
I'm
can.
saying that experience
Right.
of going through that
Yeah.
makes him an expert in that area.
Right.
And I'm not saying just an expert in divorce.
I take advice from a person that's divorced before I would somebody that's never been married.
Right.
But-
Or
but
never lived.
On the topic of marriage.
But wait, and then I'll come back. First off, remember, every relationship construct has relationship at its root. Whatever different style it is, it's a relationship. This is where I disagree with Howie. Being in a relationship is part of the human condition. And the moment you're born into a relationship. And there are different types of them, right?
Right.
You're born into, okay, here's my mama. I done came out of her womb.
daddy.
There's this relationship. Oh, let me get introduced to my daddy. Oh, well, let me get introduced to my siblings. These are all different types of relationships.
Absolutely.
Now, when you become aware of who you are, I like women. You have now enrolled in the University of You via relationships.
Right.
And you're always in relationships from that point moving forward. I'm talking about intimate relationships.
Okay.
So what happens is some people will put marriage as the Super Bowl of relationships because the ring is involved. It's the Super Bowl of relationships. And they'll say, well, we got more invested, there's more to be lost, there's more to be gained, it's a business, da 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 da. But the reality of it is, you can have very wise people who have never been married give you excellent relationship advice for married people.
Right.
I so happen to be one of those people.
I'm gonna tell you something.
But you've been in
What-
a lot
I'ma
of
tell you something.
relationships.
Absolutely.
That's how you got the experience.
Relationship advice, it can cross into marriage, of course, because marriage is a relationship.
Yes.
But I don't believe that a person that has never been married can tell me about the idiosyncrasies of marriage.
What about
because
a
you have
therapist?
never been married.
Well, what's some of the
So is
greatest?
that because there are things about a marriage that you don't know until you're married.
Yeah, like, give us the example so the people can hear.
Well, if you want to talk
Your
about
camera's right there.
So if you want to talk about it from the business aspect, when you said that marriage is business, it absolutely is.
Right.
There are things that you can't do in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship that in a marriage, you know what I'm saying, you can't do.
This sounds administrative.
There are several things, man, from health
Right.
to, there's a
But
plethora of
cohabitating-
things actually that you can't do.
But cohabitating relationships.
boyfriend,
This
girlfriend,
is like law stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
cohabitating relationships can do
But
those
I
things.
know
Common
things cross
law.
over. I know things cross over, and so so a lot of things are relevant, is what I'm saying. But there are things in marriage. I just think that unless you've been married, or unless you are married, you won't really understand or get.
So you think
You know
that
what I'm saying?
in order to be a great coach, you have to have suited up once in your life?
For like a sport, yeah, I think so. I don't think you can coach football and not
You
have
gotta
ever
know
played the
football
game.
now, goddamn.
Yeah. I just don't think you can be a good. You could probably do it.
But
You
I'm
could
talking-
probably do it.
She's trying
But to be a
marriage.
to be a good coach of a sport, in particular, using your
But-
example, I think yeah.
But
Well,
you
what
can
about,
do it-
well, wait a minute.
but-
Hold on.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, because you got a great point.
Yeah. Great
Bruce,
point.
take Bruce Pearl at Auburn. Never played basketball,
Never suited up.
but has over 500 wins. Just took the Auburn Tigers to the Final Four last year.
He's an anomaly.
Never played. Eric Spoelstra. If we're going to use sports, Eric Spoelstra was never a coach. He was the video guy at Miami and was handpicked by Pat Riley and led the team as the coach. Now, of course, you got D. Wade and LeBron,
As a whole.
but still coached them to 2 titles.
Yeah.
So that's just an example, man, that
I get it. You know what I'm saying? You can always find examples to prove our points. Donald Trump does it all the time. He's great at it.
I'm gonna run it out. Wait, do a Donald Trump point. There you go.
Oh man, we're doing really, really
Let's
well.
not do any more
Really
points.
well.
Yeah. Everything's A-OK.
Yeah, the economy is the best it's been in 50 years.
Look, everything's A-K-K-K.
It was perfect.
No, but you're absolutely correct. You can give it, and I don't think you should turn down advice from anybody. Let's just be clear on that.
No, because remember the
I just think that there are certain things that you just don't know about certain things unless you don't know about astrology to the point to where a real astrologist does. You know what I'm saying?
me?
Like I'm talking about not you. I'm talking
We
about
know you are.
No. Of course. I'm talking about a person that just picks up the newspaper and says, "Let me read the horoscopes." You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's different from somebody that really knows about it, like
Right.
you said.
Yeah,
So they can speak on it, and they may be able to tell you something you don't know.
Right.
But they're not going to be well versed at it at all.
Right.
You're
talking about the average person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right,
Compared
absolutely.
to a
Yeah.
person that's just my point. Compared to
right.
somebody that's been in it or in a particular field.
Because let me just say this.
I can watch porn all day, but unless I've been actually a porn person,
But you done had
I can't really
sex,
talk
though.
about
A porn
a
person?
porn person.
A porn performer?
Unless I'm a porn person, a porn star.
But no.
I'm not gonna really. I don't really know about the business like that. I
let
can
me go
watch
back-
all I
let me-
want.
So let me go.
Categories.
So, let me go back to this. Let me go back to this rule. To this point. This pastor here in L.A. is a gifted cat. Brilliant. Pastor Noel Jones. Never married. Or wasn't married for a while. Maybe he is married. I don't know his business.
He ain't married.
No, but he's supposed to be engaged right
Yeah,
Supposed to be what?
whatever.
now. Engaged to Lisa Ray.
Whatever. Whatever. I don't know the man's personal. I don't know him personally. Let me make this point.
No, he ain't never been married. there.
Okay.
A lot of
That's Grace
people.
Jones' brother.
Yeah.
All right.
Let me. Goddamn.
I was just
Sorry.
telling.
He was on Preachers of LA.
Can I get this point?
Sorry.
A lot of people gave him a lot of pushback because he wasn't married. But that doesn't mean the information he was given was somehow invalid,
Right.
right? All I'm trying to point out is you can get information from selected people. Not everybody,
I agree.
but there are people out there that don't need to be married in order. I navigated a couple through their divorce. It was 2 years.
Yeah,
2 years of coaching.
divorces be nasty.
But if I wasn't there, that shit would have really crashed and burned.
Worse than it did.
Nigga, I was the landing that they needed. But if they didn't have me, what? So all I'm saying is, I agree with you to a certain degree. But man, there's people out there, man, that are gifted in this area that could help married couples.
Well, you
And a
have
lot
the
of times
voice. You
we
have the
don't-
voice of reason.
Sometimes.
So you are unique in this particular
Unless I'm
category.
next to him.
Sometimes. But that brother is a brilliant
No, but
brother.
I get you.
And I would
get
take
what you want.
advice from that brother.
Right.
I would sit and listen and take counsel from that brother. And there are brothers like that all over the world. How many motherfuckers in your family? Every family get one. That one person that everybody in the family go to. Every family
advice.
get one.
Right.
Yeah.
And that advice trump everybody else's.
That was my grandma.
Right
That's
now,
true.
that would be me.
That's true.
That was my grandma, and when she
Everybody
died,
got
it went
somebody.
chaos.
That's the supreme counselor.
Since
of
I'm the
family.
elder now, that would be me.
You're the elder? All right.
Everybody
Somebody
else gone.
said, Zoe, you should bring your exes on. Why? They don't all like me. The fuck?
They'll come
That would
on
make for
here
good.
just
That would
to
be good. That would
clap.
be good conversation, though.
I would bring the ones
Why don't you
on
like me?
that like me.
Or the ones that know how to have a conversation with you.
You should, no, but let me just say this. I put it in my book. At the beginning of the book, the dedication says, this is dedicated to all my failed relationships.
All of y'all.
Y'all made the book happen. I got to go through it. I had to put you through some shit.
Yeah.
We put each other through some shit.
Right.
Yeah.
This is how I got these creative
That's how
juices
you-
flowing.
This is how it all came together up here.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
Nothing is a waste of time.
Nothing.
Nothing. You can't get to where Zoe is, or where I am, or where Howie is, or wherever Sarah wants to be,
Wow.
unless you
Just
go.
thanks. Just
Nigga, Sarah ain't nowhere.
I said wherever she wants to be.
Let me tell you,
No, hold
the
on.
best
Everybody
minds
was
in the
somewhere.
world are nurtured, nourished by shit. So I just been through a lot of shit, but I'm breaking through.
Well, wherever you plan on landing, look, wherever you're landing, sister. But you can't get there unless you go through some things. I didn't get to the emotional state that.
Wait. Somebody asked me. Go ahead, finish your point, but I got to address this. Go ahead.
Oh Lord. But you can't get to an emotional place of peace within yourself until you have been through something and understood what you went through and why you went through it. That's all I wanted to say.
So this question from DePrince,
I'm in Houston.
Prince,
Uh-huh.
really speaks to the topic about wasting time,
Okay.
right? It says, Zoe, why aren't you married?
Yeah, why aren't you, Zoe?
It's a whole myriad of reasons. Number one, my number one reason, I just got to be 100% honest with you. I've always been the type where if I'm going to get into business with somebody, because that's how I've always looked at marriage. Because I've always felt like if we decide to get married, it's already an established fact that we love each other.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Or we wouldn't even talk about
Yeah,
marriage.
yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
So this shit's established already
Yes.
that we love each other. Like we flat tires down.
That's my dog.
That,
Yeah.
that,
Because
yeah.
the subject is at hand.
Right? But I've never really found that.
Feeling about another person once you be married.
I've always been like, you're down for an aspect of me. You're not down for me. Like, you happy
Now, did
when
you spend the time to learn that?
yes, I'm observing.
Right.
And one thing about me is
you invested your time to figure that out from every relationship you've been in.
Absolutely.
That this woman, I just can't go there with.
and what's interesting about me is I ignore spiritual signs. Especially when I was young. I'd ignore shit.
Now you're not.
I had godmothers. Hey, fucking up. I had aunts. Hey, hold on. I had random motherfuckers. You know that girl you with right now.
That ain't her.
And I'd ignore the shit, and they'd be coming from everywhere. Now I'm paying attention. Again, we live in a society of users
Right.
and abusers and manipulators. Let's just be
Sad but true.
100. Right? If you can't commit to a concept, you damn sure ain't gonna be able to commit to a person.
Yeah.
Now, as a youth, I guess that's my karma coming back to me. Because as a youth, I didn't really give a fuck.
But it goes back. Let me just use what you said against you, though, man. You said we're all works in progress and we're never
Yeah.
done. So sometimes, you know what I'm saying, you have to view it like that for yourself even.
That's where I was.
You know what
As a
I'm
youth,
saying?
I was just like, it doesn't matter. I don't
Like even
care.
with the concept of marriage, though. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I made this maybe I'm fighting against something that could happen to be beautiful just by me kind of having all these preconceived
Concepts and
Yes.
ideas.
concepts and
No
ideas
question.
and what I think what I think marriage is, you know what I mean, or should be, or what I think this person should be to be married. You can fight that forever.
Right.
Because you can keep coming up with reasons why you shouldn't.
You're gonna
You know
find
what I'm
reasons
saying?
Right.
I mean, you
every
can.
time.
Right.
I mean, that could go on and on
Right,
and on.
right. And for me, as I've matured, as I've gotten older, I started to recognize more than fitting into social constructs, for me, relationships are about meaning, purpose,
Of course.
spiritual
Of
development.
course.
So now what I'm starting to see in relationships is women and men, not just women, but I'm talking
Yeah.
from my perspective to heterosexual women, they can only take spiritual work in small doses.
Why?
Because most motherfuckers is hella superficial and stimulation based.
True.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Where are we going? What's happening? There's not a lot of self-centered,
Being.
what am I learning from this experience with this gentleman?
And
There's
why
not a
am
lot
I
of that
in it?
going
Yeah.
on. It's what are we doing? How do you stimulate me? How do we keep this fresh?
And a lot of people don't realize what they did learn from that until it's over.
Right. And what I've learned.
Once it's over, it's like, man, you know, that person was really caring.
I know this one.
You know, but
I
you
get all
don't
those
know
calls.
how caring that person is when you're in the middle of it because you take it for granted.
what I'm
All
learning.
the time. I mean, we're humans. Humans do that all
Absolutely.
the time.
What I'm learning is that the older I get in relationship, just because I spent a long length of time single. When I first started doing comedy, I had just got divorced. You know, I started doing comedy a year later. I had a younger man that I dealt with for 12 years. He was 10 years younger than me. But it was what I wanted at the time. I'll fuck you when I want to. I'll see you when I see you. You're there, I'm here. We even lived together at one point and had our own separate rooms, but we had that understanding. But I knew it was going nowhere. That was just convenience for me at that time.
Right.
It was convenience for him. We had to save money. we fucking anyway. Let's do it together.
Mm-hmm.
You got your room, I got my room.
But you're bringing up something that's really powerful here because people fail to realize marriage is a ceremony, right? It's a ceremony, but it's also a way of life.
Yes, it is.
It's a school, right?
Yeah.
Now, you could be married and your relationship be an entire fuckload of horse shit
Yeah.
Right.
because nobody is doing the internal work.
That's right.
A relationship has a better chance, right, to succeed if you have two people that are mutually accountable, mutually respectful, and really putting in this mutual internal work from the inside
Right.
out. That relationship has a better chance of working than a married couple.
And you're right, because I'm not friends with my ex-husband, but I'm still friends with my ex. And that just goes to show you.
Well, I think
that-
the reason I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think once a marriage is over, it could be nastier because so much is invested in it. And I think that's when people get divorced, they tend to fall all the way out.
Well, this is
But
money.
my
You
marriage
know what I'm saying?
only
Yes,
lasted-
money
This is
involved.
money.
Because when you do boyfriend girlfriend, this money is not involved.
Instead of
Yeah,
texting
but
the
what I
dude.
want to say to you is,
Property.
what I want to say
My
to you
marriage
is,
only lasted
just
3
because
years,
it's,
so.
I want to say that the money tied into marriage doesn't necessarily make the relationship more important.
No.
That's what I was
It just
about
makes
to
it.
say.
It just is what it is. Just another aspect.
No, but I'm
of the
saying
relationship.
you're bringing up a great point
Yeah.
because most people take it more serious
Yeah.
because
Because of that.
the money
That's true.
is involved.
You put it on
And because
paper.
you made
That's true.
Because it's a business.
Or
You put it on
because
paper, and
or
it's
whatever
on paper
your
that
spirit.
this is a business now.
Do you see what I'm saying?
We are the
Incorporated.
Bells.
Yes.
We're the Bells, and this is what we have to do. You know what I'm saying? And,
Right.
and I sit down, with my wife sometimes and say, hey, listen, today, this morning, this is what we're getting ready to do.
Right.
We're going to go through everything from A to Z, what we're doing, where we're at, and where we need to go.
Does your wife
And we
respect you and follow your lead when you do that?
Not all the time, but she does start to listen now. It used to be a time when she would get mad when I did that, but we've been together now, married, going on 9 years.
See, that's good.
So now it's at the point where it's like, okay, all right, she might, huff and puff a little bit, but no, because I'm the organizer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Somebody
With that.
has to be.
Somebody has to be
She's
that.
the payer. Like, she knows how to pay. She's the payer of the bills.
But you organize
But
it.
I organize what has to be done.
You
You know, in what
prioritize,
order,
right.
like, this is how we're going to do this. And, but that's a part of the marriage. Like,
That's
a person that's
teamwork.
not married, it's so hard for them to understand that.
Not
Hard.
necessarily.
Not that they can't. It's just difficult.
Not necessarily,
if
because
you're
there are
not
there are
married.
couples out there that do exactly what
there are-
married
there
couples
are-
do.
There are from that,
Except
but
for
they're
getting
not binded legally.
Yes, in Texas, if you're
to
married
do-
to somebody if you're with somebody and stay with them over 6 months, y'all
Oh, now
consider
you're
common
common
law
law.
marriage.
Well, common law marriage, that's
But
marriage.
and it's
that's
like
marriage.
you
Common law
still
marriage.
I
can.
think
have
California
all
is
that.
8 years or
Yeah,
something.
common law marriage is
8
marriage.
years?
though.
They know.
Oh no, we ain't no shacking in
Yeah,
Texas.
common law is marriage. So, but yeah, it's just certain things, man. You know what I'm saying, that you
And
have to do.
I understand what you're
But
saying.
I like what you just said, though. People take the relationship more serious when there's more on the line.
And
you
I
know
do.
what I'm saying? We got all this business together. You know what I mean? So we got to kind of, let's try to work this out. I mean, because once that is over, you're not just separating from that person. Now you have to tear apart all of this business.
But I know
you have
so
to
many
basically
couples-
liquidate
yeah.
your
But
business.
that's what you're doing.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's tough business.
But I
That's
know
tough
a
to do.
lot of couples that are not married that have businesses
Yeah,
Yeah.
collectively
Sure.
together.
sure.
But see, some couples choose not to get married because of whatever traditional they want to break tradition. Today's people are so different. Well, that God never told us to get married in the Bible, so we're not getting married. We're gonna jump this broom, or we're gonna splash water in our faces and be together. Whatever the rule is.
They don't want that paper.
They
That
don't want
legality.
that
Trust
paper.
me. That
They don't
legality,
want
that
that
legal,
water.
that
Yeah.
signature, and that
Hey,
marriage
whatever it
license.
takes. I
Trust me
squirted
when I
on you,
tell you.
nigga. I'm yours. I squirted. We're together forever. You made me squirt. Now, whatever the case is. But I feel like if you young-hearted enough, I don't care how old you are. I call it young-hearted. You can love as long as you can love. Like you said, if you know, marriage is a partnership, but it's something you grow into. I believe people are
People
looking
change
for
immediately too when they
feelings.
get married.
They looking for these
People change, man.
fucking
It's different.
fairies to come and sprinkle dust.
I'ma
and
get
You
fairies.
just flying and
Okay,
you just
wrap it
got
up.
butterflies and shit. Bitch,
Good
it don't
shit.
work that way.
No, but
Well,
that's
Howie
not
and
roll
then
together.
Howie and then Sarah, because you were saying something while she was saying something. I was trying to get y'all to.
I kind of lost my train of thought just now. I just kind of lost my train of thought.
Got a text.
Yeah,
Your wife
yeah,
saying,
yeah,
"Shut the
yeah,
fuck
yeah,
up." Don't
yeah,
be
The
mentioning
wifey.
No, but I agree with you, man. Marriage is something that can go in both ways as far as the essence of marriage. But being married is, to me, you know what I'm saying, it's just totally a different ball game from not. You know what I'm saying? And
Me too.
it just is what it is. But I was saying to you that
Yeah, we
people
go.
change
Yeah, that's what you were saying. Yeah.
immediately. You know what I'm saying? When they get married, it's a whole different feeling. You know what I'm saying? Than just saying, all right, we go together. Or we cool. You know what I'm saying? That's one way. But
Right.
once you get married, it's a whole different feeling.
That's
You
it.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah.
What did
a
it
whole
feel like?
different-
Go into that.
It feels like it's a nervous feeling because it's a place where
Very.
you've never been before.
Very nervous.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's the ultimate relationship. So
Is it?
it's like,
You
yeah.
think it
Well, you
is
think
at
it
that
is.
time.
There we
Not
go.
necessarily that it's better than, I'm not
Right.
saying marriage is better than a person's not.
Right.
But it's just that thing. It's just married.
See, he
So
felt
when
that way. I
you
didn't.
embark upon and you get in that, no, I'm saying my wife changed too.
I
You
love
know
it.
what I'm saying?
I love it.
She was no longer my girlfriend. She was now my wife.
Yeah.
You know, when you're addressing somebody, hey, that's my husband. The way you talk and the way you address
Yeah.
will make you change.
I like that.
That's from a person's, as opposed to being, hey, what's up, man? How you doing, sir? It's different. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Or Mr. Bell as opposed to Howard. You know what I'm saying?
Mr. Bell.
Yes, I'm
Your
Mr.
bags are
Bell
here.
now. Yeah. It makes you feel different. You know what I'm saying?
He's saying that. When I got married, I didn't feel that way. When I got
You
married,
jump
I
back in,
felt
it was
like,
her
oh my God.
She don't care. I love her. She don't care though.
Yo,
You know what? I got something to say.
I used to be.
I know it's not my turn.
I used to
Hey,
be
you
a-
know what?
Oh my God.
That's peaches. I'm doing peaches right
Now,
now.
that was one of them emergency texts I got though.
Go ahead.
I might have to leave the show a little early, man. I apologize.
No worries,
That was
man.
one
I
of
got
those.
you, man. I got you.
I used to be a wedding consultant back in Texas. Like this was years ago, in my 20s, which is funny. I was a
When you were a
lesbian wedding.
lesbian?
I was a lesbian wedding consultant. Anyway,
Wow.
but I was number 3 in Texas, and I was number 3 in the chain because I knew how to like talk. Because even though I've never been married, I've always in my head, even gay, was always planning this huge wedding, and it wasn't just so I can be married after it. It's so I can have a big party. Everybody's gonna come for me.
She's serious.
It was super selfish.
No, but
I was
she
like, I
represents a whole lot of people.
yeah, and I even though I didn't have that for myself, and at the time that it's something that I couldn't do, I wanted to make sure that every woman that came in there had the dream wedding in their head that they've always wanted, because it's just like TDJ said.
Bridezilla.
Yeah, TDJ said one time, it's like his he wanted to give his wife like some anniversary present, whatever, and his sister told him to give her a dozen of roses, and he was like, "What? I've already given her a dozen roses." She said, "No, give her a dozen roses in front of everybody at her job." It's not about like, you just like you're with this person, but now your wedding is announcing to everybody in the whole fucking world that this man want me, and y'all are here for me. And maybe that's why I've never got married, is because I really just want the big party.
So let's do.
So
the
I'll
big
just throw
wrap
myself
up.
one.
Let's do the big wrap up here. You know we're all on the timeline, right? How old are you when you graduate?
What, 18, 17,
How old are you when you graduate for the second time? College,
22.
right? When should you get married?
At 18.
No.
I'm talking about.
Well, I was a
what
mother
my mom
at
thinks.
19, so you talking
We're not talking about poor black people who's struggling and all we got is fucking. We're talking about the normal timeline.
Is
I think you
fucking.
should get
24,
married. I think
25.
you're 30.
30, right?
I think over 30.
I think 39.
A lot of people think 30 is late because they want to have kids at a certain time.
Right.
So do you see that there is this underlining current of pressure pushing people forward.
Yeah, like
Right.
my son's age.
You have your kid by 30, so that means y'all got to be married by 25.
Yeah, because your eggs are right now in.
Is that social
And
pressure?
There's social pressure, right? So look, we
or
got this
cultural pressure?
it's social,
Both.
cultural, both. It's the same thing. You're getting pushed, right? We already said marriage is a business.
Yeah.
But the business of marriage funds consumerism. People say, why aren't you married, Zoe? Because this is all a construct, a love construct, a relationship construct. There are some real ones out there, but I would argue that the majority of them are caught into this pressure cooker. I'm supposed to do this at this time in my life. Have you ever seen Steve Harvey sit down and talk to those women, those
Yeah.
sisters who are professionals? And they said, well, white women are married by 25 and they have their first kid by 27 and blah, blah, blah. Where's our prince at this fucking timeline? So now, what time do you graduate? I mean, not graduate. What time do you retire? What age?
What, 62?
39.
Average person 60.
60, 65, somewhere around
Yeah,
there?
between
Yeah.
60 and
60 and
65.
65, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the average lifespan?
7.
No.
We only promised 70,
For men, it's
75 years.
in the mid, low 70s. You got 10 years after you retire.
To enjoy.
Do you see?
Yeah.
So a lot of times we forget all those, the majority of the people out there pushing for this symbol, this ceremony. I always say the word ceremony means symbol. Don't look up the definition, look up the etymology of the word, where it comes from, the denotation,
The root words.
not the connotation. Ceremony and symbol. Many people have the ceremony and the symbols of marriage, but very few people have what it symbolizes.
That's
Right, right.
Which is why 75% of your marriages end over money.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
because marriage is
I
like,
thought you loved me.
Right.
I thought you were down for me, not for what I can do, not for what
Right.
I can provide.
Right.
But again, people are marrying outcomes
Right.
and not people.
And, but I always
And
say
not
this,
the person.
and I always say this about marriage, man. I know I got to get out of here. I always say this though: it's better to build with somebody. Don't get into it with somebody that has more or less than you, because it ain't right. If you build together, it's the most beautiful thing in the world.
Because you see in
Because
your
y'all
fruits.
did it together. It's like starting a business together.
Yes.
Because marriage is a business once again. So starting from ground up together,
Mm-hmm.
y'all started low, getting a loan, y'all worked your way up, and now y'all making money. That's how a marriage is. If you do it that way, you win. Marry somebody
Right.
on your level. Quit trying to find a dime piece, and women, quit trying to find this wealthy man.
Or
It's gonna
somebody,
save
yeah,
your
some
life.
Find a
sucker
good
that-
person.
spiritually
I got
wealthy
it wrong.
man.
Hey, thank you,
I
brother.
love you, man.
Hey,
I
man,
appreciate
it's
you so
always
much.
a pleasure.
Sis, you know, babe. Thank you, Peaches.
Always a pleasure.
I'm out of here. How Bell?
We got 8 more minutes until the show. Thank you, Howie.
Yeah, man.
We got 8 minutes.
marriage is like Christmas.
To you. I don't celebrate Christmas. See, now what? If you celebrate, but see, you know, it's like what I tell my friends. They looking for some fairy tale romance. There's no such thing. You grow with the person. You learn that person. You know that person. Either you're going to like that person you with or you're not. And if you're not, guess what? You're not going to be with the person.
All
I
right,
got to like you.
let me address this. Shell's the best. 75%. Where in the hell is he getting these statistics? I want you to look up a book. It's a textbook from UCLA. It's called Intimate Relationships. It's put together by 2 relationship scientists, Thomas Bradbury and the other guy's. His name is Thomas Bradbury and another scientist, relationship scientist out of UCLA. The book is called Intimate Relationships. It's their textbook for intimate relationships. By the way, all 12 or 16 of the courses that they teach at UCLA are on YouTube. You can watch them. They're like 2-3 hours long a piece or whatever. You can watch them if you like,
That's where he got his statistics.
but please check out that course, the actual course, the class that they're teaching.
Why they be coming for you, Zoe?
Nah, because listen, I understand, like, motherfuckers need to understand certain shit, right? I saw that video, right? Somebody sent me the video. I saw it years ago. I watched the shit. Then I went to UCLA and bought the $80 textbook because I wanted to read the whole thing. It's like 800 pages. Now, in that book, they break down how money impacts relationship. It breaks down the statistic that says divorce is the #1 indicator for poverty in America. It breaks down the statistic that also says marriage is the #1 indicator for wealth in America. Now, I've always argued marriage in particular, behaves more like a business than it does like an intimate connection. So a lot of times, obligation takes precedent over anything else. You can neglect a whole bunch of shit because your obligation is to make sure you're maintaining the marriage itself. But what about your needs?
Yeah.
What about your partner's needs? What about your capacity to be able to see and understand their needs versus your needs?
Right. Looking on the outside, inside.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So a lot of times, man, you motherfuckers think I be talking out my ass. No, I actually go do the fucking
Got
research.
receipts.
You have to do the research to know the things you know, because how can you help people if you don't learn, if you're going to be teaching something, especially about relationships, not being married before.
Thomas
You gotta know what you're
Bradbury
talking
and
about.
somebody else. I forgot that man's name. Benjamin Carney. Benjamin Carney and Thomas Bradbury, authors of Intimate Relationships. It's gonna cost you $80.
Probably more now. You about to look a while ago.
No, I bought it a while ago, and I always reference it. They've revised it a couple of times. Go get it. This book is not motherfucking the 4 Agreements. And no disrespect to the 4 Agreements. That's a great book. Or Love Languages. That's a great
Love Language.
book. These are great books. No, but this is a book that is predicated just on empirical data. You really want to know? Go do the research.
You gotta read. You got to.
And now I'm going to say this and then I'm going to end mine and I'm going to throw it to y'all. You're wasting time when you're not discovering new aspects of yourself. You discover new aspects of yourself by being in intimate relationships authentically, truthfully. If you can be truthful with yourself, you can be truthful with your partner.
Right.
Right? There is an internal acknowledgement that has to happen. You could be married and all that shit. If you haven't acknowledged yourself internally, if you haven't embraced yourself internally,
Right.
if you haven't found true self-love, true self-understanding, right? If you're not patient with you, how the fuck you gonna be patient with
Right.
with your spouse?
Gotta accept you for you first.
Yeah, I know you were talking, but recently I was talking about within the last like 2 weeks. I actually have made a conscious effort to stop talking about myself or like putting myself down, because I just went. I was talking to a guy and he was very verbally abusive. He was very like, but those things. But if I wasn't with him and if I really didn't have that wake up call with him recently and coming to the show, listening to the show, different things like that, then I would have continued in that very like verbally abusive situation.
Because you abuse yourself.
Absolutely.
But you gotta accept yourself for you first. Most people that can't hear the truth about themselves are not ready to accept themselves internally to even tell themselves the truth. Not coming from an outside source, whether it's coming from that guy or a friend telling you, hey, you're better than that, whatever the case is. What I've learned is that people are going to show you who they are no matter what. Just listen to them long enough and you'll hear the truth. Just listen long
Just
enough.
listening. All right, look.
That was Auntie Peaches.
Yes.
Auntie Peaches.
I get a helping of Auntie Peaches every day.
So look, what I would like to do is for you guys to tell people where they can follow you, where they can find you, how they can support you in everything that you guys have going.
Go ahead, Sarah.
Well, you can find me on social media. On Instagram, I'm Sundays with _Sarah, and it's SARA. On Facebook, I'm Sarah Jackson. You follow me on there. Also, you can catch me in November. I'll have some more dates coming up. So, yeah, and also listen to Sundays with Sarah's on Dash Talk at 5 o'clock on Sunday.
Dash Talk X.
Dash Talk X.
Love it. And then Peaches.
You guys can find me on social media under my real name, Donnie Keith. That's DAUGNE.
You still salty about being named Peaches.
KEITH.
I don't understand
I need
you.
to I'm gonna change my name to Peaches.
I'm just
now?
saying, nigga.
DJ.
Okay, y'all.
You
can
think
find me-
you think P. Diddy's name is really P. Diddy?
Sean Combs is P. He don't even know his name no more. He changed it from Puff Daddy to P. Diddy,
God
P.
damn.
Dizzy. Whatever your name is, change your haircut. How about that? But back to me. You can find me because that little strip looked like a Brazilian pussy wax.
I need
was
you to
just
stop,
saying.
please.
Okay. Don't go for everybody. Don't wear the fro hawk. It's not for you. Some of your guys, you look like you have wax vaginas on your
Just
head.
okay.
But find me at DAUGNEKEITH. And you can find me on the Aunties on Dash Radio. Click on VOR and favorite that channel. We come on at 4 p.m. every Fridays.
Every Fridays or every Friday?
Every Friday. I'm thinking of food. I'm hungry. Fridays.
Hey, we love you.
It
Thank you for
vibration
tuning in.
frequency.
Thank you for supporting the show. And don't forget, Mansions Gear. You can find it at PIOclothing.com. Go support Mansions right now.
They got plus size.
Support the relationship dismount, how to stick the landing when exiting a toxic relationship, as well as the holographic relationship. Appreciate everybody. We'll be back next Monday with another couple of heaters. Deuces.